The Principal Auditor's report is for the years 2017 and 2018, but his review of the cost of awarding early exit schemes to government employees goes up to the 31st of October 2023. There were around 10 such schemes in various departments. The benefits included the ability to retire with a deferred pension before reaching pensionable age, the award of a lump sum payment, and an increase in basic salary on the last day of service in order to augment the employee's pension and gratuity. In one of the schemes, 10 employees who retired from the Technical Services Department, including the sewers section, were awarded a 12% salary increase for transferring to Gibraltar Mechanical and Electrical Services Limited on their last day of service before retirement. In all, 192 employees, the vast majority in the Housing Works Agency, opted to retire early. This cost the government $13.6 million in lump sum payments. There were also additional annual recurring pension costs starting at $0.22 million and rising each year in accordance with the Pensions Increase Act. Under a financing agreement with Credit Finance Company Limited, all the employees chose to receive their full lump sum payment upfront from the company, which then charged the government interest at 6.5% on the outstanding balance until the amount was repaid in full. The Principal Auditor estimates that the cost to the government over the 10-year duration of the arrangement was $5.02 million. The Principal Auditor notes that nearly half of the employees who were awarded an early exit scheme, 95 out of 192, had already reached retirement age and could have retired regardless of the scheme, without what he describes as the added and significant cost to the government. He also highlights that in some departments, such as the Royal Gibraltar Post Office, the early exit schemes did not result in significant staff reductions. The report highlights an early exit scheme which benefited just 2 employees at the Port Authority. One of them, who was 56 when he retired, received a severance pay of almost £160,000, the equivalent of 3 years' pay. The other, aged 60, was paid £62,000. The auditor says these severance payments were made under the provisions of 2 separate confidential agreements between the government and each of the employees and were signed by the Chief Minister and the union, with no reasons given as to why. There was also a further payment of this type to another officer on the 25th of October 2023. The officer, an SPTO in the Employment Department, received nearly £118,000, equivalent to 2 years' pay, before retiring a week later at 61 years of age. Although outside the scope of his review, the Principal Auditor also alludes in his report to 2 other early exit schemes in Gibraltar Industrial Cleaners and Gibraltar General Support Services, which includes Gibraltar Cleansing Services Limited. 16 employees of the former retired at a cost of $1.69 million in lump sum payments, while 18 from GGSSL cost a further £970,000. Another 4 employees transferred under an agreement with the Ministry of Defence received a total of nearly £272,000 in lump sum payments. All of them were over the age of 60 and 2 were over 65. The Principal Auditor has requested feedback from the Human Resources Manager on the audit report of the early exit scheme and intends to include his reply in his report of 2019.